All right, the results are in, and Black Friday Cyber Monday has ended, and we have our results. So between Thanksgiving Thursday, when we initially started our campaign, of course we did some pre-launch beforehand, building up our email list, advertising the catalog and such. But since the sale began on Thursday till Monday, so about a 5-day period, between both of our brands, we did a combined 76,000 plus, right around $76,500, right over 1,000 orders. So the great thing about this is, and the reason why I share combined, is that between each brand there is about $35,000 to $36,000 each, and I'll show you here specifics in a minute. But the reason why I say that is because this strategy has worked for not just one brand, not just an off chance that it worked, but for two brands. And really, if you kind of execute the pre-launch beforehand and really the months prior leading up to it, do a lot more content, add a lot more value, you can probably get even better results for your physical product brand through Shopify or really whatever e-commerce platform you're using. So we did say that we'd have a third brand that we'd show you, but unfortunately we weren't able to get all of the media and things that we needed to put the campaign together and really launch it well. So we kind of don't have the results that we would like to have because we weren't able to effectively execute that strategy. But for the two brands that we did get all the collateral, have all the images, and were able to do the campaign the way that we needed to, you can see that with around 76,000 plus in sales, and then of course over 1,000 orders, we can say that this campaign worked successfully. So this brand, both of these brands are relatively new. The first brand that we're going to review has been around for right around 16 months, and the other brand probably around 11. So in terms of a store's age, these are both relatively new online, and so we're pretty proud of the results. It blew out of the water because we didn't have any past Black Friday results to compare off of. So we're excited about this one. And again, if you have any questions or want more detail on the exact method of the strategy, of course I'm going to show you an overview here as far as what led to the results. But if you want to know how to set this up yourself, you can go to our channel and check out some of the other videos where we actually walk step by step to how we set this campaign up so you can execute it for your brand. Because really this can be used anytime. We just cater this specifically towards Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So as you can see, I'm kind of excited about this. I'm ready to jump in and show you the details and how we got these results so you can then make a difference in the lives and serve others with your physical product brand as well. So let's go ahead and jump in and go over what led to this great Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So let's go ahead and jump into brand number one here. So starting off, and this is the brand that's been around for about 16 months now, but we didn't really run anything for Black Friday Cyber Monday last year. So this is the first real Black Friday Cyber Monday campaign that this brand has been able to launch. So we'll do we started this on Thursday for Thanksgiving over to Monday, and we can see 36,000, just shy of 37,000 in sales. Right around 425 orders. Now remember, this isn't a dropship brand. This is we manufacture all the products and have in-house fulfillment delivering this. So this is a lot for them to handle coming after 5 days on Monday. They were a little stressed out, but it was a good stressed out. But another cool thing to note on this is that we actually did right shy of 8,000 through our digital course. So we also have a digital product that is very closely related to our physical product brand as far as that helps them get better results with that and kind of takes them to the next level of experience. I think for total sales for that digital product, we did right under 6,000 for that. And then this was actually an upsell to a bundle of products, which only 6 people took that, but that contributed really well to the overall results for this brand. The thing I like about that digital product is that when you do a sale like this, of course, we're not focusing on customer acquisition. We're focusing on our current audience. That's why in that pre-launch, we try to get all those emails so we can really focus on, again, not spending that ad money in client acquisition, but almost as a retargeting and really using email, because you'll see that email itself generated 17,000, outperformed ads by, I mean, gosh, quadruple. I mean, it's ridiculous as far as how much revenue is generated in through email as well. You can see that if somebody just ran ads, they're not going to have as great as results, and that was the Google ads there. But we've got a lot to cover, so I really want to just show you an overview. If for whatever reason you've got more questions on this, our margins are about 4 to 5, so you know that coming into this that we're not at 50% margins. We're about 4 to 5 times X of what our cost is to actually manufacture that product. And of course, during that sale, I think the most that we had percentage off was 40%. So that digital course helped us because we had already produced it. So there really wasn't any cost in that. It helped us cover the shipping cost of the product and the ad costs that you can see here as well, as far as just being able to help with what that is. Didn't completely cancel it out, but took out a lot of that overhead. So if you don't have a digital product, that would probably be one of the notes that I would consider from this, is just that helps out tremendously as far as once you pay that off of what that production cost is, you can continue to add that to sales in the future, and that can help out tremendously. So just going from the top down, Facebook and Instagram, we spent $1,800 generating right at 6,200, so pretty good return for this brand itself. And you can see I've got all the ones highlighted specifically for this one. The other ones were the other brand that we'll jump to in a second. But basically starting out, if you remember in the other videos, we were talking about our early bird, which is our opt-in to build that pre-launch list. That was the first thing we ran, spent $91, and that actually generated revenue. Was not planning on that, but I can't complain at $854, covering what that cost was. We also ran a video view campaign leading up to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So on top of this, to our lookalike audiences of purchasers, just to get as much engagement as possible going into the sale, because again, we wanted to retarget people that were already engaging with our brand. So you can see we got just under 20,000 through plays of people watching a complete video. Some of those videos being up to 4 minutes. They were also very closely related to the products that we had on sale, but that was really just to build up that engagement before we launched the sale. And then we can see once we actually launched, first day didn't do so huge as far as on the advertising side. If you come over here and actually look on the 28th, not a huge day, but it's not one of our most popular collections. But basically, our strategy behind the Black Friday Cyber Monday was each day we're having a different collection of products. So that way, when somebody comes to the sale, again, because we have that shipping, I think our minimum shipping order was right around 75 as far as what they needed to buy, but then also because of our margins, we wanted to have one collection because other people were going to buy accompanied products on those days as well to help cover what that, the cut that we were taking in our margins. But anyway, for Lacquer, not a huge turnout as far as from the Facebook ads. One of the problems that I was seeing with this was that, scheduling them out, some of them didn't activate until, we'd schedule them to launch it at midnight for that day. Some of them didn't kick in until about 7 a.m. So we really didn't have the time to really let these ads get to the point where they needed to be. Would that help this cost per result go down? I don't know. Maybe. I'm thinking that it would. But overall, you can see that each of these days pretty much got a good return. Tried testing an engagement to see if it would get any conversions. It did not, but it did help as far as for the conversion campaign for that day that was running at the same time. So you can just kind of see these results here. Won't get into too much of the detail. You can see more of these from the final day that were promoting 2 of our offers, because we had 2 offers on that final day for a product. And then of course for that digital product as well, that was selling at about $237 with an average acquisition cost of $76. So that was really our only overhead for that, because we did not have any product fulfillment cost or cost of goods sold for that, because it's already been covered when we first initially launched that course. So that's pretty much it for this as far as showing the overview. Big takeaways from the ads: if you're going to do a sale or an extended sale where you've got a different collection each day, similar to what we did. Of course, I'd recommend running it for conversions. We did see video, which obviously, if you're familiar running Facebook ads, typically outperforms the image. But you can see with some of these for the same product, I'm trying to see one as an example. So we had an image and a video competing here. You can see that the image actually got 34 purchases where the video ad got 28. And I think that was somewhat consistent. I wanted to see if I've got another one, image video. You can see the image again outperformed the video ad. I mean, and pretty strongly too. So sometimes you'll hear people talk about, oh, you need video, video outperforms all the time. Well, we can see with some of these campaigns that actually, for most of them, you can see another video and image here, that the image outperformed the video campaign every time that we ran it. So that's an interesting takeaway. The other one is making sure to schedule your ads like we talked about at that proper time, making sure they launch, because if they get out a little late, it takes a little bit longer for them to optimize, and we could have taken advantage of that. The other big takeaway for the ads is that you can see that our reach for these was 13,000, 5,000, and that was two lookalike audience as well. So we did our current engaged audience, a 1%, and then a 2% lookalike of buyers. If I had to do this again, I would take out that 1% and 2% and just put all the money into people that have engaged, because we actually have about 100,000 people in our follower list, people that engage with posts, all of that combined. And between the three audiences, as far as our engaged and our lookalikes, we're only reaching 13,000, 5,000, 9,000. We weren't even getting to our people who are already engaged with us, which of course would have been, they'd be more prone to buying than a lookalike who hasn't previously engaged. So if I had to do it again, I would just run it to our current audience and spend all the money there to be able to get that reach, because we really just did not get it when we were running these for a single day. So that's a quick overview for that. Let's go ahead and jump back. For Google Ads, we didn't run any sort of campaigns. We have Google shopping and Google search campaigns set up in general, so that also contributed to the overall revenue, but it wasn't something that we focused on for this campaign. Now again, going back over to email, we can see 17,451. It was big. It was really big as far as a revenue driver for us. And you can see they kind of stopped opening these emails after a while, but that I would send it out to the that early Black Friday list first, and then I would send it to the rest of our contacts as well. So I'm trying to get down to the bottom. So letting them know that the sale's coming up. Did the same thing to our entire list. I would send it to these contacts first, so they're getting the initial ones. I'd take them off this mass list and then send it to everyone else. So you can see these are all just reminders leading up to it. And then we had some where we would send 2 emails a day, one in the morning, one kind of midday, and then I'd have a messenger through Facebook Messenger go out. But for email, it was typically around 2, some 3 a day. Of course, you could do more, but you can see when we launched these lacquers, not a huge results. Launched lacquers to the big list, which is the first day sale. So this one had 3 campaigns together. And then you can see day 2 did pretty well for the specialty finishes. Another midday, and then the day 3. And good bit of day 3s that went out, and then day 4. I believe day 4 only had 1 email that went out, which is not good. Should have had more than that. And then for the final day 2. So you can see that our email contributed a lot to our overall, and you can see just in general, email is huge for us. It makes up probably 20%, and you can see here because of Black Friday now, email makes up for 30% of our overall revenue. So you can see that we did, what is this, last 30 days, total revenue 70,000, and those campaigns contributed 30% of that. So if you're not, have your flows set up, and then also have campaigns that you're sending out on a consistent basis, you're missing out on a lot of revenue from that. So going into the last section here, which is Facebook Messenger revenue, we just use Recart, which if you look back at the other videos, do an overview of what that looks like. And we were simply just sending out a notification to them that was just saying, hey, do you want to see today's sale? And then they click a button and it shows them that, and they're taken over to the sale. That's all it is. No special copy, nothing. Just a really short message that's sent to them on Facebook. So everything, as far as our total ad cost, we spent $2,500 in that 5-day period and got $29,000 in return for that, not including Amazon, which made up an additional. And this was actually, this outline was created for them probably at noon on that final day. So there were still more sales that came in, which you can see from this outline here for this brand. Total of 36,000, which again, I think one of our favorite things was just that digital product that came in the clutch and brought an additional $7,900 because it also upsold that product bundle in there as well. So without that, we really wouldn't have done as well on that last day with just that product collection that we had. So that's an overview for that first one. On the second brand, this is our even newer store. This has probably been around for, I want to say, less than 12 months, but we spent right at $2,000 in advertising costs, got a return of $16,000 for that ad revenue, and then Google ad cost, again, weren't focused on it. This was just continuing to run the search and shopping campaigns that we have running, and then a whopping $18,000 from email as well, from at the time of actually putting this sheet together. So we'll jump over and look at what the store looks like for this one. So I want to make sure this is showing. All right, you can see for this brand we did, I want to make sure it's the right one, right under 40,000. So this one has this brand has a little bit more of a wider audience as far as the products are used by a lot more people than the other brand. The other brand is a little bit more niche. So when we were able to run this, we got a lot better results for some of the collections that we were having on sale, just because they were much more popular with this audience than the other brand that was. So we were able to generate a good bit more sales for this campaign. The margins are about the same, if not a little bit higher, as far as where most of our product margins are right at that buy for one, sell for five type thing. And that's kind of the average that we try to have for ours. Some of them could be buy for one, sell for four, but majority of the time we get for one, sell for five type of thing. You can just put that in a multiple perspective. But jumping back over, we didn't actually use any sort of Facebook Messenger for this one. We didn't have a big audience built up for this Facebook Messenger like we had for the other brand. But you can see here with the ads that we've got highlighted, I'll go down and start from the bottom, that we can see for that opt-in list, I think we've got about 800 emails, and I'll show you in a second with Enclavia that we built off of that. We spent 119, and that opt-in list to kind of build that pre-launch for Black Friday actually resulted in some sales as well, which we're happy because we weren't expecting that. We also ran a similar video views, again, trying to get the engagement, the playthroughs. We were able to get 14,000 playthroughs for right over $250. And then we actually launched the catalog, which was, again, another way for them to opt in. Spent $189 in that, got $750. We weren't expecting a return for that, just because, again, we were trying to build that pre-launch list. And then you can see where we come into the actual launch days themselves. So you can see 3 to get 3,500, 4 to get 7,800, 2 to get right at 1,000, and then this final day, 3 to get 12, 3 to get 14, and this is just an ongoing one. This isn't specifically for sale, but just showing you we got a lot better return on these. And let's see if the image outperformed the video. Image outperformed the video for this one. This is also the similar one, so you can see that the image outperformed the video for that one as well. And then I'm not sure with this other, got a couple of these spaced out. Yeah, so all these ads perform very well, but it is interesting to see, even with the other brand, that image is outperforming the video in terms of conversion. So if you ever wondered what performs better, does a video conversion campaign or an image conversion campaign? Well, for us, it turned out to be the image, which is very, very interesting. But again, this was the same strategy, the same process we used for both brands, got great results, and we can see that with these ads, these performed much better than the other brands. So it's interesting to see as far as looking back at what the copy and different things like that were as well. Now let's go ahead and look over at the email for this that generated right at $18,000, or a little over $18,000. All right, so for this brand, jumping in, you can see that for our email for this actually makes up 34% of revenue. So just interesting to see how much email marketing actually contributes to our overall sales. And the great thing is that once you've built up your list, or you've done giveaway campaigns, or you've opted in and you've built up customer lists and the whole 9 yards, once you really take time to focus on the back end, that's where a majority of your profit and your revenue is made. I mean, 34% just from email is huge. We're not having to spend money once we acquire these people into our ecosystem, where they're getting valuable content, where they're joining our flows and getting more information on the brand. So just to kind of harp on that for a second, but to jump into the campaigns, we can see again very similar strategy that we did, where it was about 2 emails a day. Sometimes we would jump into 3, but I think for majority of the times it was 2. For these catalogs and the early bird list, this again wasn't for the sale, this is for the pre-launch, but it actually did generate revenue. These were canceled emails. I want to make sure canceled send. And then these were the launch day, or this was a catalog, not a launch day. Here's the launch day. So you can see 1,500, 2,800, 4,000, 1,200. So you can just see that these campaigns as a part of this sale, and this one was not. This one was just sent today. But that these make up a huge percentage of our overall sales, especially when we're having a campaign like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whether we're doing something for upcoming for Christmas, for any time that we're doing it. And typically you're going to run a sale every 6 weeks. But email makes up a majority of that revenue, sometimes outperforming the ads by a good bit. So just to be able to show you what our list looks like as far as that we built within this, so you can see that we spent $189 for the catalog itself, and then to build, and this was directly to the opt-in page, almost just kind of like a pre-release, was another $119. So between that, if you just want to round that up to 200, and then say, that adds another 310. So say we spent around $310 to get 830 emails. So even if you were just to do the math on that, you're looking at somewhere close to about 30 cents an email or something like that, which is huge. People, anywhere in the space would be willing to, pay up to $3 to $5 for an email. So 30 cents for us, because we're bringing them in, again, to that ecosystem where we're remarketing. We've got a good lifetime value to a customer that we just continue to remarket, continuing to engage, continue to add value. So just this pre-launch campaign, of course, it comes in handy for the sale and building that list that we can remarket to, because they're going to be engaging. But it also just helps in the long term as we're continuing to build that list. And that's pretty much it. That's the revenue. And again, this was reported until the final day. So between 12 o'clock on that last day, as far as at noon and till the end of the day, we did an additional right around $4,000, a little bit more. And then you can also see that Amazon, not something that we focused on. We just created a little coupon and ran some ads on Amazon, but wasn't really a part of our primary strategy for that. And that's a review. That's how we were able to do $76,000 in sales, and combined between these two brands, are more around $40,000 for each brand. For this one specifically, $40,000. The other one a little bit less. But you can see that these were our biggest drivers: Facebook and Instagram ads, a little bit from Google ads, and then email, which is a huge part of it, and then of course Facebook Messenger filling in a little bit of gaps here. But as far as takeaways from this video, rather than just showing the results that we did I hope that it kind of showed some points as far as that I would go back on when we're running ads. We want to just target our engaged audience, because again, these sales, this is an opportunity for you to make the most profit. Even though you're discounting your items, you're wanting to really market to your current audience and take the time as a pre-launch phase to build a little bit bigger of a list and really build up engagement through video views and things like that. So that way you can really be able to spend the least amount of money and allow your email to really take up the slack for you and doing things in post, whether you have a Facebook group or anything like that. It just shows the importance of really building a true brand and being able to continue to provide value to them, because when opportunities like this come, this is where you're going to make your money at. It's not during the the in between as you're building your list and you're making a little bit of money and running Facebook ads, but it's when these sales come and you really do a good pre-launch up to it and then close it out well and really have a well structured sale campaign, which again, you can go to our channel and look out the strategy that we did showing you how to put those different pieces together. But it was a success and we're happy with this. Could we have done more? Possibly, but these numbers for us were extremely happy. The owners were extremely happy, and we actually made them a little frustrated just because between this and the other one, they've got about 1,100 orders to fulfill today and throughout the week. So it is a lot for their fulfillment team. But I hope you got some incredible value out of this video today. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I want to provide as much value for you as possible so that way you can make an impact and change lives with your physical product brand. But let me know how. Let me know what you need to know rather than me just doing some case studies on the results that we have. Is there a specific campaign? Do you want an email strategy? Do you need something to be able to build your list? Let me know so I can help you and create content that serves a purpose here. So I hope you can take this information and again, go out and use it, make a difference, make an impact with your physical product brand.